welcome to another week's video. Today I have something very exciting to show you. Some of you may remember from one of my past videos I was talking about small businesses on Etsy and small sellers that had handmade paint, and I mentioned this seller excuse me, called Hungry for Paint. I had already featured their paints in a previous video. I'm gonna leave a link here. I'm also gonna leave a link to this video where I gave some suggestions of watercolor gifts. So I mentioned in this video that they had available for sale these grab bags. That's basically a bag with 6 half pens for the price of 4. But you cannot choose the half pens, so they would come as a surprise pick by the seller. And I thought it was a great idea. I really like their paints and I just jumped on it. So I suggested to you and I got it myself. And I received it a few days ago. I have been anxiously waiting for this moment because I haven't opened them at all. And I'm very curious to see what kind of colors I got. But before that, I'd like to ask you, please, if you like the content of this video, like in the button here below, subscribe if you haven't done already so, hit the notifications button, share with other people that also like watercolors and art videos in general. I'll really appreciate that will help to grow my channel and get my content to more people. And thank you everyone that has been doing so already. I really appreciate your support. So now let's open this. I'm very excited to see. I tried to start opening before the video so I wouldn't make a lot of noise, but will try my best now here. Okay, so let's see what I got. It's all a surprise here. I see she sent me some samples and a thank you card. Okay, so I have 4 samples. Oops, 5 samples. And here I have the colors, the half pens. So let's see what I got. She was really nice. The only thing I asked her if, because she had a list of the colors that, how can I say, all the list of colors that could be in this grab bag, and some of the colors I had already purchased from them previously, so I just asked if she could just make sure not to put any of the colors I already had. I had only 4 colors from a set I bought previously. And yeah, it was really nice of her to confirm that she would make sure not to include them. So I'm seeing here, I don't see the names so far, but I see here I got a type of ochre, a coral, kind of a grayish blue, a quarter pan, dark gray, green gray, and what else, a brown, a lilac, and another type of gray. So she actually sent me 6 half pens, an extra quarter pen, and these 5 samples. So that's a lot of paint to try here. I'm really excited to open them and see how they perform. I'll be using today, let me just move this around. I'll show you the paper I'll be using. I decided to, for a change, I'm gonna use this paper here that I usually like painting. It's the Ford RKB Fat Pad, 300 grams per square meter, and it's a cotton paper, but it has a nice texture, and I thought it would be great to test these paints because they have usually beautiful granulation and texture, so I thought it would be nicer to have textured paper. So I'm gonna start opening them. I'm gonna probably speed up this part of the video so don't have to wait too long. So I unpacked all of my half pens and my quarter pen over here. I showed you the names, but I'm gonna write the names after swatching as well. And as usual with these handmade paints, it's always good to leave a drop of water for a little bit before start painting, so they can be easily activated. So let's see. I think I'm gonna start from here. This is vintage yellow. Her paints work beautifully. The smell, I mentioned this in the previous video where I was swatching her paints. The smell is just so good. She uses I believe it's clove oil, and even though my head is pretty far from the paint, I can feel this nice herbal smell. It's very natural, it's not like overwhelming. It's really, really nice. If you are into this type of thing and natural oils and herbs and this type of thing, I think you would love these paints. It's all a part of the experience, apart from the beautiful colors and the texture. Look, I just left for a few seconds and they just reactivated very nicely. They just glide on paper, and then the smell, what can I say? I love them. Now the next one is called Vermilion Hue, and I'm very happy to get this because vermilion is one of my favorite colors. I really like this type of red. It's a beautiful red, a bit more cold than the, or maybe I'm getting confused, but I had the impression that vermilion was a little bit warmer, but I really like this tone as well. There's something about Hungry for Paint watercolors that is just, even those that don't have the granulation, there's some, the textures just come out in a very nice way. I can see the vintage yellow already start showing some granulation, which is very nice. I hadn't seen it when I was applying it, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to using them, and I'm curious to see how they will all be when they dry. I'll be showing you a close-up anyways of them after all. Now this one, I don't remember the name. I have to check underneath. It's called Lantern. Looks like a gray. Yeah, it's a type of taupe, I would say. Really nice color as well. It's not a color I have. I don't think I have other colors like this exact tone. And I can already see that it has granulation as well. There are some very fine darker particles. Probably it won't be appearing that well on camera, but from here it looks like it has some granulation. We'll see when it dries. Now this one is called Vintage Blue. Very nice muted grayish blue. Really love it. I think she had a set called Vintage Illustration. I'm not sure. It's something vintage, so the yellow and the blue are part of this set. And it's a beautiful color. You cannot get well, at least as far as I know, she doesn't sell individual pens. There are only sets available. But I would really recommend you keep an eye on their Instagram page to see when there are sales happening, and occasions like this one where there'll be grab bags for sale, so you can try different stuff. And on top of that, also the last time I ordered, she also sent some samples, so that's also nice that you can try some colors beforehand and maybe get the set. The sets are not extremely expensive. They are really well priced, so they're totally worth it in my opinion. Let me see, this one is called Night Olive Drive. Night Olive. Oh my goodness, I'll probably leave this bit here, but Night Olive will be a funny name indeed. It's Night Drive. Let's see. I thought it was a particular name. I thought maybe it was some type of dark olive. But yeah, it's a very nice dark color. I don't know if it's a black or just a type of charcoal, but it has a beautiful texture. I think it's part of a new set she had released. I don't remember the name now. I'm gonna put here when I'm editing. And there were some really unique colors, and I think this was one of the colors that I had noted that I was interested in, so I'm happy to have it. It's kind of asphalt color. No wonder it's called Night Drive. That would be nice for some stones and things like that. Now the last one is called Arctic Dusk. And so far I'm really digging like this palette. I'm not sure if it was intentional, if she chose colors that would go together, but really this alone is like a super nice color palette for a painting, very modern and muted. It's not a type of color palette I usually go for. I always, my first, how can I say, my first instinct is always taking super bright colors, but every time I try using more muted colors, I like the result. It's more harmonious and easier to match, you know, with neutrals and things like that. So let's see now. Oh yeah. Oh, I think now that I remember the name, I think this was also part of the same set with the Night Drive. And this was also a color that I had noted that I really liked, and I was hoping I would get it, and I'm so happy I did. I didn't ask for it. As I said, I just mentioned if she could please not include any colors from the Marinero set, because I already had them, even though there was a small chance I would get them because she had a pretty long list of colors that would be part of these grab bags. But I said, just in case, you know, I would be a bit disappointed if I had a second color of the same one. She has so many beautiful tones I wanted to try out, and I'm so happy. I'm very stoked that I got this color. Yeah, I had forgotten about the names, but now that I see, I remember that this was definitely on my list, and I was really hoping I would get it. I'm so happy. And now I have the last one, the little quarter pen. It's called Bald Mountain, if I'm reading correctly. So let's see. Oh yeah, that's a super rich green. It's like a cobalt green deep, but very opaque. I'm just trying to remove a bit so you can see better the tone when it's diluted. Wow, that's a beautiful pen. I had purchased quite early when they were available, because they mentioned in the Instagram account, I believe, that for first I don't remember the first number of orders, I would get an extra pen. So I assume this is the one that I got, the extra, and it's really beautiful. These colors, they are just really nice. Now I can see while it's drying that the lantern, it's really separating into different colors and showing a lot of granulation. It's really a beautiful color. I'm really happy I got I got these paints, and really, for the price of 4.5 pence, there's no way I could pass on that. It's a beautiful brand, and I would, like I said, I really recommend trying their paints. Now let's see the samples that I got here. So I have Antique Green Earth. What else? Foliage. I think I got this sample before. It was a beautiful green. Blue Oyster Mushroom. Oh, this set is also very nice. The mushroom set. Oh, and it's a generous sample, so I'm happy with that. Pink Pipestone. That's also very unique. And Oxon Grey. Yeah, I'm gonna start, I'm gonna do also some swatches of the samples here. I just love using handmade watercolor paints. Do you? Let me know in the comments if you enjoy using handmade paints. I so admire the people that do that because it's a lot of work. It's really a labor of love. And I as I mentioned before, I don't think that is something I would ever want to try. I'm very allergic to alkalides and things like that, so I would be scared of breathing in something or whatever. And also, on top of that, all the work, I have no space to do this in my house. So I really appreciate the people that do that and put them for sale so I can buy and try them like I'm doing now and share with you. And hopefully you like that as well and maybe try. I think it's a very unique experience painting with handmade watercolors, you know. They are really, I usually find them really natural and organic looking. I don't know, there's something about them, the fact that they are not machine made or mass produced. You get this texture and this, like I said, this nice smell and this look of something that has been handmade, and it makes a huge difference, at least for my practice to paint with them. It's the whole experience is like a painting spa. So if you want to have a painting spa, go for Hungry for Paints. You won't regret it. Here it is, foliage, this beautiful yellow green. That is one of my favorite colors as well, this type of green. Love it. Now, blue oyster mushroom. I'm really curious about this one. It looks gorgeous in the photos she has on the Instagram. Yeah, it's a beautiful type of muted grayish blue. Oh, I love it. It's so beautiful. I'm pretty sure that the next set I'll be buying from them will be the mushroom set because they have such lovely colors. I'm not sure if it's still available for sale. I'm gonna check and then leave it here, a comment if it is. But in any case, this set sometimes they come back, so it's good to keep an eye, you know. You never know when they'll be back. I usually, when I have brands like this that I really like their paints, I hit the notifications button on Instagram for their stories, their posts, so when there's a sale going on, I can be aware of it and can also share with you here of what's going on. This is a very beautiful color. I don't have any watercolor from this pink pipestone, and it's really nice. It's granulating and it has this type of I even don't know how to describe. It's kind of a burnt carmine kind of look. I'm thinking of the Polychromos colored pencil. But yeah, it's really nice, I think, for if you like skin tones. You can build a lot of different skin tones with that. I assume you can mix a bit of blue maybe to get darker ones, more towards brownish, grayish. Yeah, I'm not a portrait person, but I'm pretty sure that this is a great color to be using if you are. And now the last color is Oxen Gray. This is very light. Either that or is a bit harder to re-wet. Can happen sometimes depending on the pigment. It's a very light, subtle color. beautiful. Yeah, so here is the result of my grab bag. I have here the 6 half pans, 1/4 pan, and 5 samples, and I'm very happy with them. Now I'm gonna let them dry a little bit, and then I'll be back to show you a close-up of all of these wonderful colors. I'll see you soon. So I'm back. The paint swatches are all dried now, or dry, and I named all of them to be easier to see what is what. I'm gonna be showing you here now the close-up of the colors. Here you have the vintage yellow. It's a very deep kind of gold ochre, or not gold ochre, but dark ochre, with some very subtle darker texture. Then you have the vermilion hue, beautiful red. Lantern, it's a very beautiful color. I think maybe in the set of the mushroom set, I'm not sure, but it's a very nice taupe. It has color separation, it has granulation as well. Yeah, and then you have the vintage blue here. It's a very dark, muted blue. Night Drive has a beautiful texture. It's a kind of charcoal with some very nice granulation. Then you have Arctic Dusk. It's a kind of a pinkish purple blue mix of colors. Has very pronounced granulation, color separation as well. You have Bald Mountain, that is also beautiful texture, granulating, dark green. These are the pans that I got. And then you have the samples over here. You have the Antique Green Earth, that's a kind of a brownish color. Foliage, nice yellow green. Blue Oyster Mushroom is a very, very beautiful and unique color. You see here there's separation, there's granulation, there's everything happening here. It's just very magic. Really, really nice paint. Pink Pipestone, also a very unique tone. Very nice natural color. And the last one is this very light Oxon Gray. Very beautiful as well. Here are all of them together. I think that them alone are already, you see here, can have a nice color palette here, here, you know, also here. I'm really happy with this set of paints. I'm really glad that I got them, and I'll be keeping an eye on their Instagram account for upcoming sales. It's a very lovely brand, and please let me know if you have tried already their paints, if you are willing to try, if you're curious to try, what's your experience, if you have other recommendations of handmade watercolors that you would like to see. I'm always up to trying different paints. I usually get my paints here from Europe though, because I know there's a lot of sellers that are in the US, but with the delays for the postage and also with the cost involved in custom charges and everything, it can get pretty expensive quickly. So I usually prefer to try paints from sellers here in Europe, but you never know, maybe in the future. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, give me that thumbs up. Follow my channel if you haven't done so already, and I will see you soon. Bye.